Hey, boys and girls, here we go. So, I'm going to give you a quick breakdown of what this week's assignment will be. So, it is all going to be in one document, just like last week. This is the entire assignment here. So, we're learning all about ecosystems. Woo! So, first things first, I want you to just take a minute, tell me what do you know about ecosystems. If it's just a couple of words, then that's fine. If you know quite a bit, tell me what you know. It helps me gauge how much longer we need to spend on this topic. All right, the next section is vocabulary. You'll see that I've got the terms written out for you, the definitions you'll fill in, and please plug in a picture as well. You can just insert a picture from Google search, or you can draw one, I guess, but I think that just copy and paste a picture that you think best fits that term. And you will find all the definitions within the text. I've also hyperlinked in Merriam-Webster's definitions as well. If you, for some reason, are having trouble reading the particular definition and deciphering what it truly means, then there's that link as well. Okay, so jumping on to the next section, reading. Whoa, I went too far. So it's going to start off with taking a look. It says circle and label some of the non-living things in the watering hole. Not sure how? Click here for the tutorial. Do that. Every time you see those click here, and you don't know how to already do it, then use those real quick video recaps to show you how it is I want you to get that task done. All right, and so we're going to continue moving on. The reading is going to talk about organisms and habitats and communities among there. It's going to talk about biotic factors. So you pronounce that biotic, and this is pronounced abiotic. So there are biotic factors, which mean things that are living, and there are abiotic factors, which are non-living things. Okay, and then it's going to talk about this Python here in a little bit. And so if you notice, there's some changes happening here. These white boxes are cue to you. This is a question you have to answer, not just read, but you need to type in an answer for me. It says, what is the difference between biotic and abiotic factors? Well, then you put your cursor in there and you start typing. The difference between biotic and abiotic factors is, and finish the thought. Please use complete sentences, restate those questions. You can do those simple tasks. Okay. Moving on. Oh, here's another white box telling me something really important that you have to do. Circle one biotic factor and one abiotic factor in figure 2. The Python is figure 2. Don't remember how to do that? We just did that earlier, but if you didn't, click here for the tutorial, okay? All right, moving on. We're going to continue reading about ecosystems and populations, and so it says, what makes up a community in an ecosystem? If you can't remember, reread that section on communities right above it. Do you see that? Community is a particular area, right? So things that make up a community and ecosystem are, boom, you type your answer. So real quick, this graphic is showing us the breakdown in an ecosystem. You have an organism, one species. You have a group, a population of that species. It moves on to a community, which is all the living things that interact with each other, all the way to an ecosystem, which is the living and non-living things that interact within each other in that region. All right, let's keep moving on. It says, make a prediction of how the lack of resources in an ecosystem might impact the levels of organization. This, organism, population, community, ecosystem. These are the levels of organization. How would a lack of resources, and you'll read through this and you'll get what resources means, but it means things like water or food or shelter, any of those resources. If you didn't have them, if there was a lack, if you didn't have enough of them, how would that impact these different levels? And this is your thoughts. There's not wrong answers. Don't get stuck on it thinking you need to have a perfect answer. I'm looking through for your thought processes. All right, populations, births and deaths. So we're talking about population sizes. And if you look, there's a graph here talking about a population size of and guess what? I'm going to ask you to do a little bit of graphing. If you can't remember how, look, boom, click here. There's a graphing tutorial. If you look here too, there's this white section. That means I have to answer a question. That's right, you do. And then there's also the Google spreadsheet that I want you to make that graph in. You'll just copy and paste it in like you did last week. If you didn't do it last week, that's okay. There's a tutorial here. It'll show you how. I'm not going to spend time talking about it now. All right, you'll move on and you're talking about immigration and immigration. I know they look almost identical. They are two different things. And then once again, when you see these white boxes, that's a cue to you that you need to go ahead and type in an answer. We're going to continue moving down the rest of the assignment. There is some bit of reading, but really, it's not that much reading, you guys. It's just like 3 pages worth. And you're going to go ahead, white boxes again, cue me that I need to type something there. I need to give an answer. Figure 5, the image of the gannet, this is the birds, okay? Circle the available space in the environment for nesting and raising their young. Don't remember how? Click here for the tutorial again, because you already watched a tutorial on this, but if you can't remember, that's okay. All right, so you're editing that actual picture. Moving on. An ecological mystery. Whoops, I went too far, too fast. So on this blue section, the ecological mystery, you're going to be looking at this made-up ecosystem. Do you see this? It's the Nebraska Plains. You're going to read about the Nebraska Plains. Oh, I can already see a typo I need to fix. So I'm going to fix that real fast. Boom. It says ecologist. It should be ecologist. Docs doesn't always catch my typos for me. Okay, so right here you can see the organisms in this environment right here in this ecosystem are labeled 1, 2, 3, 4. I labeled them for you, and guess what? As you scroll down, you'll be able to read them. Number 1 is a bald eagle. Whoa! Once again, I'm just clicking too fast. Number 1 is a bald eagle. Number 2 is a black-footed ferret. Number 3 is a prairie dog and a burrowing owl. So those are your different animals in that environment. Okay, you read about them. You're good to go. We're going to continue on. So as I move on, I see that, oh, geez, I really am just, I can control this mouse. Okay, so as you move on, you'll see there's this word bank here, and it says, fill in the blanks below with words from the word bank above. This information is going to help, the information you read above about those animals, about the Nebraska Plains, is going to help you answer this. So fill in the blanks below with words from the word bank above. Not all the words will be used. Click here for the tutorial. So you're plugging in words here, but guess what? This is a graphic. This is a picture. So watch the tutorial so you know how to edit the picture to type in the answers that you want. All right, we're going to continue on. So next is some field reports. So there's these field reports explaining, some information about what has happened to the black-footed ferret. So here's one field report of some activities going on in this ecosystem. So you read this part first. Here's the questions that I'm going to ask you to answer. Boom. Type right here. Use evidence from the text to explain your answer. This is the text I'm talking about, okay? So you could use complete sentence to give me a thorough thought there. Okay, let's move on. Then look, here's another field report giving us some more information on what may have happened to the prairie dog. Here's your question. You're going to type in your answer right here in that field box. And then there is one more field report study that came out that may have had some sort of link to what's happened to the prairie dog. Okay, so that's 3 questions right there that you have to answer over a very short 3 sentences. Give me a second. Oh, I bet your houses are busy too. And then this last section is going to be about multiple choice. You're going to change your check box into, your box into an actual check mark for me. And to show you how to do that, you'll just click on that tutorial, and it right here, it says click here. It'll show you how to do that. It's super easy once you know what you're doing. Google Docs doesn't have a great checkbox option, so it's the best thing that I've come up with. So if you look, there's about 4 multiple choice questions, and we're going to keep trucking along. 5 multiple choice questions, I take that back. Then the last part is going to be, after watching the video explaining some of the trends in graphic data, what do you think was the cause of the black-footed ferret's population decline? So we had about 5 different field reports, maybe it was just 4, different field reports trying to explain what it is that may have had an impact on the prairie dog and, or not prairie dog, sorry, black-footed ferret. And From there, you're going to either watch this video, or if you'd rather not hear me explain it and come up with your own explanation, you can click on the next link over to look at the actual slideshow. And the slideshow is going to show you about 4 different graphs explaining how the relationship with the black-footed ferret population falls in line with some of the statistical data for those field reports. And so you're going to come up with your own answer when you're done with that. I recommend, if you're confused even in the littlest bit, watch that video I posted. I think I do a much better job explaining it there. All right, if you have questions for me, you need to email me. I don't know, I can't read your mind. Email me with any questions you have. I'm available all day long. So get to work. Click on those little links when you need to figure out what it is in detail. If there's more information you need or need to remember how to edit your document, click on those. All right, we'll see you later.